evening, and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only talent, El Idolo Deportivo Taylor. It is another En Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're coming at you live and direct from South Florida. It is officially September 13th. Guys, today was like 97 degrees. Lows are going to be sitting at a good 78. They said we're going to have like 25% chance of rain. I really wish it would have rained earlier. I hope it would have cooled this day down. But we got a big show for you guys today. We got a really big show for you guys today, folks. We got the Rogers diagnosis that just came out. Let's make sure all audios are working fine. Okay, we got the audio there. I'm pushing and popping. We got the audio there, pushing and popping. Okay, it look like everybody is going. We got Rogers diagnosis that just came out, folks. You saw us with the live reaction on Monday. Now, we've had some time to let that sit in. Our food has digested. Take a mean shit before I started the podcast just to make sure I got all of them out of the way. We got a Bluetooth code. Let's go ahead and drop that for you guys already real quick. Let's show what we got. We got a Bluetooth promo code for you guys a little bit later in the podcast. Let's go ahead and hide that. All right, you guys ain't see that. All right, we got the Jets being hopeful out here. Yeah, you got to with what just happened with Aaron Rodgers. We got Thursday Night Football tomorrow. We got no birthday shot again. Apparently, karma is popping up everywhere. We got Stewie cooking. We got the WNBA playoffs. And have you heard about the news with Kevin Porter Jr.? If you have not, oh my God. But based off the league's past, if they let the kid in Charlotte back in the league, then Kevin Porter Jr. will see by the start of the 2024-2025 season. Unfortunately. But also, let's find out what happened a little bit more. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But you know what we say here on the show, regardless of the time, because it is about like 9:47, and we like to start the show at 8:07. Don't judge me. I told you. I had to take a mean one, right? So regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a good time to talk some sports. So let's start talking. Woo! We're back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Coach, any inspirational words for the crew?
You play to win the game. Hello?
You know it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Let's get right into our MyT topic of the day. MyT! Oh, we popping bottles on that one. Oh my God. That shit's in my eye. This is horrible. Pause. Like full blown out pause. These one of those pausable moments in sports. Oh shit. Is that how that feels? That's disrespectful. That's mad disrespectful. Like I could have used a warning or something. Like you can't tell a nigga? Ah damn. Trying to give me that Rona to the face. Oh man. I never felt so disrespected in my whole show. Let's get back into it, folks. Of course, if you guys have not heard by now, I wonder where you have been. I wonder what you've been listening to. I wonder how come you haven't heard the first episode of the podcast yet. Because if you have, then you already know the news that I'm about to give you. Aaron Rodgers is out. There's no more time to RELAX. It is straight PANIC time. Maybe. But Aaron Rodgers has been officially ruled out with an ACL injury. That's the official diagnosis. And this was alluded to before we got off the air, right? You heard people talk about this is one of the easiest injuries to diagnose. To try to take you in the back, try to get up on your tippy toes. If you can't get up on your tippy toes, Achilles. Achilles? I think it was just Achilles. ACL, one of the two. Right? So he's out. And obviously, with this kind of injury, you don't expect to see Aaron Rodgers back anytime soon. You don't expect to see him back during the regular season. And if things go right for a 40-year-old man, he may be back and proper and right by the start of next season. That's if everything goes right for him. And for right now, Jets fans are nervous. And I understand. Right? Trust me. Your boy understands. I'm a little nervous too. But you can't live your life in a constant state of fear. You can't live your life in a constant state of, oh my God, what if? Or worst case scenario. That's how you age. I hear all you people like calling it like you pessimistic motherfuckers. Like, yo, no wonder you guys, no wonder your skin gets wrinkly soon, and you see all the age in your face all the time. Like, nah, you really need to learn how to have a big bowl of fuck it, and just learn how to relax. I can understand the nervousness for Jets fans, which baffles me because, and I'm gonna go in depth in this a little bit later. Phone lines are already open. Let's go ahead and get these callers in immediately because most Jets fans, as I heard them talk, were tapering their expectations. Oh, this can't be Super Bowl or bust, man. Man, we need. You know how many Jets fans I heard play scared all summer? Now all of a sudden, oh man, see, this is why you don't get a 40-year-old quarterback. Now we need to go. We're gonna get into this. But when something like this happens, right? You hear superstitious Jets fans talking about, man, this is just the same old Jets. And obviously, if it's the same old Jets or same old anybody or something, then it has to be somebody to blame. Is this the same old Jets management? Did they get the wrong individual? No. You can't tell me that Aaron Rodgers is the wrong person to get, because everybody that didn't already have a franchise quarterback would have went after Aaron Rodgers. Did they coach him up bad? Put him in a bad position? Nope. The play was designed for him to the play call is designed for him to get the ball out quickly, which is what we thought Aaron Rodgers did. So who's to blame here? Aaron Rodgers to blame. Aaron Rodgers screwed Aaron Rodgers. You know, Buffalo fans, you know, like they're damn near like Canada anyway, so they should understand that reference. But Aaron screwed Aaron because what we needed from Aaron was average. We needed Peyton Manning in his down year, which brings my light of hope. We didn't need spectacular from him. We didn't need 55 touchdowns in the season. We didn't need to break this passing record. We needed average from him. And because on that first drive, he wanted to make a statement, he tried to be spectacular and held on to that ball 1 second longer, 2 seconds longer, 1.89 seconds longer than he should have. And we see the result. It's unfortunate. But if Aaron Rodgers would have stuck to the game plan, the New York Jets have him for next week. The New York Jets have him for probably the majority of the season. But now we don't. And now we have to figure out what's going to happen next for the New York Jets. Now, I was supposed to flip one of these motherfuckers already. I forgot. My bad. You know what? Let's not flip that one then. How much time have we put in here? Let's go ahead and flip. Let's flip this one. So now the New York Jets are trying to pivot. And before I even talk about them pivoting, let's lean back into these fans. Lean back. Because while everybody understood why you brought Aaron Rodgers here, it wasn't to be okay. It was to win a Super Bowl. Whether this year or next year, it's to win a Super Bowl within the window that Aaron Rodgers is part of your franchise. There were a lot of Jets haters that I'm pretty sure they are puffing their chest up right now. Heard a lot of Giants fans calling, right? They want to make sure Is that the app? Okay, that's the app. Oh, hey yo, I, I thought there was smoke coming out. I mean, I am on fire. Y'all see that shit? Instagram, behind the scenes camera, Instagram. What the fuck? Yo, every day I find a new one. Every day I find a new bite, a new like. That's what happens when you work outside. That's what happens when you work outside of there. Like I find a new bite, a new poke, a new cut, a new something every single freaking day. I touch my body. My body's all over my body. My body's all over my body. Oh, big comment. We're on camera. So, Giants fans, Dolphins fans, Jets fans have called in all in the last 48 hours and expressed themselves and how they truly feel about this Aaron Rodgers situation, right? They was even calling in before then, right? They called in way before then to express themselves. And what you hear now, right? I don't quite understand because what happened is that Jets fans, and most fans, right? A lot of fans, they're talking about both sides of their ass. And they're talking out both holes. Because on one side, Aaron Rodgers wasn't the guy that was suddenly going to take us to a championship. Even though that's the reason why he's brought here for. Not to make the playoffs, not to just help improve the team, right? But to get this young squad hyper focused to let them understand what it's going to take to not only win games but possibly win a championship and to get them on a level. You know what I mean? Make sure, as you already saw, right? Hard knocks through the practices. When it's like the fact where you thought you're giving 100%, and then next thing you know you're being chased by a dog, and now you really realize that your body has an extra 10%. That's what Aaron Rodgers is. Aaron Rodgers is that dog. He comes in as that lion to that team, and they all thought they were running scared. They thought they were playing hard. They thought they was giving it all they had, and then they realized, oh no, we could give more. It happened in Denver. Sorry. Yep, it happened in Denver. And it happened in Tampa Bay. Those are the two true examples of making a young, talented squad better, more focused, right? Trimming the fat, making them more streamlined. That was Aaron Rodgers. Now, it's like I said, we all anticipated that it just should have made it. They should be making a run with him. Too many people, though, thought that, hey, a lot of Jets fans, we need to calm down. Just because we have Aaron Rodgers doesn't mean that we're automatically going to win it all. And now, weeks later, those same people are calling because now not just Jets fans, obviously the Jets organization and Jets players are trying to figure out, hey, what's our next move? What do we do next? And you heard some of the names that started coming out. Oh, well, we call him Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan. If you guys have listened to this show, yeah, I should be steaming right now. If you guys have listened to this show, then you already know how we feel about Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, in his prime, with a talented squad, couldn't get it done. So it makes you think old ass Matt Ryan, that can't move, that could never get it done, is going to come to New York and get it done. Because let me tell you what baffles me. Let me tell you what really baffles me. Is that all of the names that they're bringing up, as there's now a search for a backup quarterback to Zach Wilson, or maybe even somebody to come and take over the reins. I I haven't heard one name that says, oh, we're basically not going to do the same thing if we had Zach Wilson. So what? You bring in Gardner Minshew for Zach Wilson, right? Or you bring in Colt McCoy, as some of the names I'm hearing. Jacoby Brissett. Phillip Rivers. Joe Flacco. Which one of these guys is taking us further than what Aaron Rodgers was projected? Or which one of these guys can you fathom? Can you imagine? Just imagine. Imagine. Make believe. You give me a make-believe situation that you put Aaron Rodgers in that same make-believe situation and give him all of his 100% capacities that this guy was going to go farther than Aaron Rodgers. So if none of these guys makes us a Super Bowl contender, because remember, you guys were reluctant to call us a Super Bowl contender or call yourselves a Super Bowl contender when Aaron Rodgers was on the squad, healthy. Oh, let's taper our expectations, blah, blah, blah. Now suddenly, Gardner Minshew's the answer? If you're going to give me Gardner Minshew, I'd rather take Zach Wilson. I'd rather Zach Wilson get another year of learning instead of another year of demoralization, where you take his teeth from underneath him and give it to some bum off the street. I'd rather take Zach Wilson over Matt Ryan. I'd rather take Zach Wilson over Gardner Minshew. I'd rather take Zach Wilson over Joe Flacco. I'd rather take Zach Wilson over Jacoby Brissett. Unless the answer is Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. I don't want him. Because these guys are failing with their teams already. And some of these guys already have a pretty good team. I ain't talking about some of the better names out there. Tua got a tongue twister. Don't want him. Doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter what name you mention. Unless it's those three guys, I don't want them. I'd rather take Kurt Warner off the street. I'd rather take Peyton Manning off the street. Eli Manning off the street. Peyton Manning off the street. Tom Brady was a name mentioned. I guess. You know I hate Tom, but if he gets my Jets a ring, I may recognize him as one of the greatest. The hell do you want this? No, not right now. Why do you want to make changes now, B? You don't see me in the middle of something? You're not going crazy. Jets fans, come out and play. Jets fans, come out and play. So I'm not feeling it. I feel like you guys are just out there to talk, just to hear yourselves talk, calling into these stations, hear yourself calling to these stations. Like you weren't right about your premonition about what was going to happen with the Jets. You weren't right about your predetermined negativity towards it. No, you just picked the worst negative situation and you banked on that happening. Did you put money on it? Did you put your money where your mouth was? All that. Oh, I knew this. Did you bet on it? Or did you put your money on the Jets making the playoffs? Or did you put your money on the Jets making the conference championship? All of this talk, where was your money at? Where was your dollars at? Where was your put up or shut up? It was nowhere. It was in the trash can. It was in the toilet. It was down the drain. So go join it down a sewer hole and choke on your shit. I know we got the WNBA playoffs going on right now. So they want somebody to blame. I told you blame A-Line. They're blaming the turf. They go blaming the turf. Man, if we had grass, man, this wouldn't happen. Players Association, right? Put it in a notion to the NFL owners, right? Owner Association. Man, we need to change all these fields to grass. Changing the grass is probably the easiest thing we can do. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like somebody under the age of 21. I'm gonna start there. That's saying that a fairly new adult. Oh, you know what? Nah, let's run it back some. A fairly new teenager, but then is in their first 2, 3 years of social media, and you know what? Thinking to themselves, man, you know what'd be really cool? You know what we really need to set this social media shit off? You know what make this shit jump and be? You know what make this better? Is if when you went on somebody's page, it automatically loaded with music. Like their favorite song. This is why they say it's important to know history. Because if you don't know history will repeat itself. That's the reason why it's important to make sure that we keep in the history books, right? An account of all those individuals that were throwing stones at little black girls that were trying to go to school back in those days. That was heckling little black children that was trying to get an education back in those days. You need to keep an account of that. Don't let those old little white fuckers get off the hook now. No, no, no. Let your grandchildren know the kind of monster you are, the kind of piece of shit individual that you have in. Let them know your true nature, like Jerry Jones's true nature. Who was the other owner he was talking to? We'll bring that up a little bit later. Was it Buffalo Bills owner they mentioned? I'm not surprised that Jerry Jones is involved in this kind of shit again, because Jerry Jones is the same person when he had the opportunity to, right? When he was one of those individuals that was heckling a little 5 and 7-year-old girl for going to school. When he had to address it as a grown ass man of full consciousness, all he can say, well, it was a curious time, and I was just curious of why this little nigger girl wanted an education in my all white school. You see why we don't talk about the Dallas Cowboys on this podcast. So you have to remember history, because if not, history will repeat himself. And that's what's happening here. Is that these people that are talking, I don't know if they have forgotten of what grass fields used to look like, of what grass fields used to feel like. You forget? Because, okay, so imagine this, right? So for some of you guys, you may be the only show in town. For some of you guys, nobody else uses your field but you. You get to roll it out. You can roll it back in. It's over. So some of you guys, for some of you teams, you may have even taken pride in making sure you had the best grass out there. That's not everybody. In New York, we got 2 teams using the same field. That grass gets ran through more than your mom. Sorry. Your of-age sister. And your mom's. Right? Those turfs get, not only that, high school games, college games, soccer matches, all of the reasons why this field may get done up. And then you just have people that are just bad guys. That their field is nice, but let's dirty it up. And our guys will always play in this mucky, dirty up thing, and their body gets used to, their muscle memory gets used to all this weirdness, right? But for the team with the run game, it has to depend on that. Nah, let's wet these spots up a little bit where we know they're going to be at, so they can lose traction. That dirty shit that Bill Belichick used to do. Oh no, let's remember, and we've heard, and the thing about it, we've also heard players talk too. Like, you know what? They should just find a spot and just kind of like dig up a little piece of grass, make a little hole right there. Make sure you know one of their receivers or D-Big finds that hole or gets in there. It's the reason why players used to say, yo, they used to take their time and do a walkthrough, right? Now, granted, these turfs do look better, but you see it every time they run. I'm watching the highlights for a Minnesota game, right? And every time they run, you just see that those little black pellets keep popping up. And I even heard somebody question recently within the last 48 hours if those black pellets can cause cancer. You see them all over the player's skin. I'm pretty sure they ingested a couple. Listen, if you play in the dirt, you gotta eat some of it. Right? All right. Play in the sand, you gotta eat a little bit of it. Play in the pool, you drink a little bit of it. It happens. I'm not saying anything wild here. So now they want to blame the turf. As if they don't remember what grass used to feel like. I don't think this is gonna be a battle that's gonna be won. Be honest with you. At first I was like, yeah, we need to go to grass. I'm like, nah, what the fuck? We've already had music on our social media pages when we loaded up. It took forever for pages to load up. Because it went from music to people having all kinds of cascading designs and things rolling all up and down. Next thing you know, you clicked on somebody's page and it took a whole 5 minutes for it to load up. I don't got time for that. I just want to leave you a birthday message. I don't want to hear your top 3 songs, see your page shimmering on purple, and next thing you know, have 15 pictures of you and your boo pop up before I even hit thank you, hit enter, start typing H. She got fake lips. I don't know who that is, but whoever this is on ESPN right now, that chick, she got fake lips. Her bottom lip is not naturally that big. She collagens that shit. Sorry, I don't know if you guys, but she collagens that shit. You could tell. Yeah, she uses a plumper in there. Yo, you women are crazy. You do all this crazy shit to look like things we don't even want. You really do. Like, we know we get it 80% of the time. We want that 80% shit. Like, that dolled up 20% shit, that should be looking crazy to someone. Like, yo, what the fuck you doing all that dumb shit on your face for? Spending $200 to look like a fucking clown. Because I ain't gonna lie, you be looking like a fucking clown. And you can smell your makeup. Like, when if I get within arm's distance from you and I can smell your makeup, it's a bad thing. We all know makeup. Makeup got that certain smell. Got that little crayony smell. I don't want to say crayon, but you know that makeup smell. Don't like it. Don't like it. So the Jets' new game plan is to look for a backup. And I'm going to tell you this. I am one of those individuals where I feel I'm patient. I'm okay to be patient because if we're not winning a Super Bowl this year, with whoever you bring in, why bring them in? So that you can have 10 wins versus 8, 9 wins versus 7, 12 wins versus 10, 12 wins versus 8, 8 wins versus 4, 6 versus 2. I don't care what the math is. Whoever you bring in here isn't giving me Aaron Rodgers expectations. It's not giving me Aaron Rodgers vibe. No, the vibe is killed. What you can do for me now is continue to develop the guy that you want to take over after Aaron Rodgers leaves. And that's what I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's what I want. You need Zach Wilson to show improvement? Well, here goes an opportunity. You didn't think you was going to get an opportunity this year? Let's go. Because honestly, there isn't a better option. Because if that option, if that person doesn't make you cream your pants with Super Bowl aspirations, then you're going to need something to help get you hard. And with that said, let's bring in our first sponsor, right? Which is Blue Chew, right? I don't know if you guys are well aware of this, but Blue Chew happens to be that little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my promo code of GSSS, you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, that's for the free. When it comes to Blue Chew, there really is 2 things you really need to concern yourself with. One, you chew it, and then you do it. How you do it is up to you. Like whatever style you like, You pick your style, whether that's doggy style, missionary style, jack style, Amazon style, froggy style. If you seen Baby Boy, you know what I mean. Whatever style that you have, you go ahead and you rock your style. You know what? That's so good. I ain't gonna lie. That felt so nice. That felt so nice. I think we're gonna do this shit twice. I think we're gonna do this shit twice. One more time for the tippity. What is Blue Chew again? Blue Chew is just that little blue pill that helps you get back to throat. Just open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. And if you use my promo code of GSSS, yes, so that's GSSS. That's not just the noise that she'll make. It also be what you can use if you want to get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, we're talking about for the free. We're talking about five finger discount free. What you gotta do is pay for shipping and handling. Make sure you take care of your postal workers. Next thing you know, Blue Chew is not that thing that you need. Sometimes it's that thing that you want. You know, you've been putting up some messages in the DMs. You want to make sure you do all the things that you said you was doing in them DMs. Oh yeah, big talk, Billie Eilish. You know, we styling over here, regardless of your style. Right, Blue Chew is for you. You just chew it and you do it. Whether that's doggy style, whether that's missionary style, whether that's jackhammer style, Amazon style, or baby boy froggy style. Blue Chew is for you in whatever do that you do. Okay, since we're no longer talking about disappointment performances, and I would just talk about solutions to these performances. The Jets' game plan, as we wrap this up, the Jets' game plan is going to be interesting to see over the next couple of weeks. We anticipate there's going to be a signing of a quarterback. For everybody that doesn't think that Zach Wilson looked any better than he did last year, I will agree with you. He looked very vanilla, very basic. And that was explained, actually, by his number one wide receiver because Zach Wilson didn't take any reps, not one rep with the starting unit or with the game plan before that week started. It was all Aaron. So it's not even like he took 10% of the reps, 20%. No, none. So the game plan that they made up for Zach Wilson on the fly was a very vanilla game plan. It was a very vanilla package. Stuff that he was successful with last year. Stuff that he was successful with in the preseason. A few plays here and there that he likes from Aaron Rodgers that he's like, yo, I can do this. On the fly, a very vanilla game plan, an offensive package. Now, that's one of my beliefs. Not the fact that he didn't get any of the story. That's a fact. And that's a fact. Not the fact that it was a vanilla game plan. No, that's a fact. It's my belief that he can get better. So now let's see what happens this week coming up as they play the Dallas this week. Yep, as we play the Dallas Cowboys. It's already come out. We're a 9.5 point underdog. I'll take those odds. We could clear it. We could clear 9.5. Hold on, this is a 3-point game. We ain't the Giants. We ain't the Giants. I don't know if somebody told you, but we ought to. So let's see what the Jets' game plan is going to be for Zach Wilson during the games. Let's see what the game plan is going to be for the backup position in case Zach Wilson gets folded like I thought he did in that game. Let's see what the Jets' game plan is just for the end of the season, because to revert back to a developmental season for Zach Wilson isn't the baddest thing in the world. But as we beat Buffalo again, just think this team compared to last team. Zach Wilson has a little bit more experience, right? He now has a Hall of Fame quarterback in his ear that he's been that only could be in his ear once he gets back to the sideline or he gets back into his mental state where he's able to start being cordial again, right? But he also has more weapons than he did last year on offense. More wide receivers, more running backs, a better defense. The only thing that was suspect was the offensive line. And that offensive line, we're gonna see how bad it is when they play Dallas. Because that's the true that's the true measuring stick, right? Because honestly, I don't believe that Daniel Jones is that much better than Zach Wilson. Exactly. So let's see how each individual looks. And now, do the Giants have the kind of defense do the Giants have the kind of defense that the New York Jets have? No, they don't. Do they have the kind of wide receivers that the Jets have? No, they don't. Do they have the kind of actually the only comparable position may be at the running back? And I'm telling you right now, I take Brees Hall over Saquon Barkley all day, every day. From what I've seen from Brees Hall in 8 games, nine. What did he go out when we were 7-2? So what I've seen from Brees Hall in the last 10 professional football games, I am fully convinced he's a better runner. I don't know if he's a better athlete. I don't know if he's going if but also better athlete, he probably could be. I tell you this way, he's a smarter athlete than Saquon Barkley. Because if he has the athletic capabilities of Saquon Barkley, he's not wasting it by dancing in the backfield. He's not wasting it by trying to jump over defenders. He's not trying to look spectacular. You know what he does? Puts his head down, puts his nose down, runs through a motherfucker, runs right through his face. Because what did Marshawn Lynch say? There's only so many times you can run through a motherfucker's face and they keep getting back one of more. Let them cook. Play my shit. I don't know who this guy is on here right now, but he looks like a child molester. Hey yo, did I hear you, Will? Did I hear you, Will? Holy shit. I think I did. Let's get Chill Will up in here. Let's see what we got him to say.
You drop takes, don't you? You drop takes, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, if you're going to drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
Cleveland, this is for you.
I almost forgot that also how that also started. As I'm listening to as I'm listening to all of the elements of that intro, I forgot how this even came about. Let's free Chill Will. I don't even think you guys know how this started. Free Chill Will. Oh man, some early Podbean days. Free Chill Will. Let's go ahead. not crazy. So I wasn't crazy. I wasn't like I know in the moment I get carried away, but I wasn't crazy about it. But our last statement was it is no for real, for real. Facts, facts, facts. Part of the reason why listen, kind of reason why we don't go to LeBron. Why we think like post up more. When you should have played point guard from like if you wanted to be a point forward, just play point guard and body only 6'1" niggas. Charles Barkley size, you know, he's bigger than Barkley. So let's bring it. Yeah, so bring it back to the other part. There we go. So yeah, so I'm not feeling like he twinkle toes, right? Take on Barkley, he kind of twinkle toes back. He actually, I'm a fully explain it. He's Barry Sanders without any of the positive yards, and I've been and because of all those negative yards is why I don't like Barry Sanders so much sometimes. Like you could have like oh, not Chris Ivory. Um, did he play? You talking about during the Rex Ryan era? Oh, okay, okay, okay. So not the Rex Ryan era. Shit. You're probably talking about the Adam. Nah, it's okay. I don't remember those years. That's a black hole. Like that's when the villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit took over as the New York Jets head coach. All right, that's when we had the gays, and I don't remember shit from the gays era. Yeah. I don't. Now, like I said, we're talking about somebody named Gase before you guys go all that. But yeah, I don't remember shit from the gays era, like at all. Like he tried to frame Roger Rabbit, and then he tried to destroy Two Town, and then he tried to destroy the New York Jets. I'm not a fan of him. The running back depth chart, okay. Not Le'Veon Bell. Elijah McGuire. Oh, I didn't see. I didn't see the pictures. I'm just looking at names. I'm just looking at names. We had Le'Veon Bell, Elijah McGuire. Let's see. Those are the first two names. That's in 2019. I don't know. Well, let me look at the 2020. I'm gonna take a look at this one. You know what happened? Like that's how it is. It always happens that way. Like these things are always right. Like are always. What they say?
The MyT fantasy football tips. Not winning tips, just tips.
Not
Tips.
Crowder.
Tips.
Wait, hold on. Who are we looking at?
Just the tip.
Frank Gore?
Just the tip.
Nah. What am I? Am I looking at the Jets roster? Frank Gore ain't play. Frank Gore played for us. He did play for us. God damn, who didn't Frank Gore play for? I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Frank Gore could still be in the league right now. Like that's just me, but I fully feel. Let's see, not Josh Adams, Kalen Ballage, Le'Veon Bell again. I don't know who you talking about. Yeah, when I get to the Jets this year, yeah, 19 and 20. I don't know who you talking. I don't know who you talking about. Jesus, now we going back to 2016. Let's see. That's the Todd Bowles era. Okay, that's Todd Bowles. Let's see. His favorite person was Patty LaBelle. Matt Forte? Nah, he was from Chicago. Jesus. Who do we have them? Yo, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matt Forte, Robbie Chosen. Who? I don't, I don't even know that name. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start off with Jets, Isaiah. Okay, okay. First to put up Isaiah Thomas, but then I see Isaiah Crowell, running back. I see a big beard. Oh, I do see that. I do see the dreads hanging out. There's one. There's a picture of him without dreads, and there's another picture of him with dreads. He's only 30, but he's probably already out the league. Let me see. Is he still in the league? Yeah, he's done. I mean, he had a 77-yard touchdown run as a Jet at one point in time. But you know what though? You know what? That's it actually proves my point. It's the same shit we can say about Saquon. Like Saquon got like a 77-yard run. Like oh man. And see, and that's what I said. Like, so that's why I go back to it. I don't know if Saquon Barkley is a better athlete than Brees Hall, but I definitely know that Brees Hall is definitely. I mean, Brees Hall is a better athlete than Saquon, but I'm gonna tell you from what I've seen so far, he's at least a smarter athlete so far. And I'll take the smarter athlete over the better athlete. Because oh yeah, Saquon's numbers is up there. No, so no, hey, Oh shit. Oh, I just figured out what happened. Nosy ass AI talking about my 40 time. They're like, what? You need a timer for 40 minutes? Like, hey, yo, we didn't even try to bring you in like this. But no, like, yeah, his 40 time was a 441. Yeah, no, he's actually, you know what? Let's do this. Actually, let's look up Brees Hall's 40 time. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, yo, Brees Hall, 4.39. Just slightly better than Saquon's. But I mean, but that's splitting hairs. Like honestly, like that's talking about if they were side by side. Like we're talking about like the nose and jawbone area crossed first. Like he tilted his forehead first. Like that's what we're talking about here. Like bodies are probably damn near even, and when they're trying to cross that finish line, he stuck out the chest, or he swung his arm out, or his nose was forward. Like that's the difference between 441 and 439. But it's still, I'm gonna say this the same speed. It's comparable speed. It's fully comparable speed. And I'm telling you right now, like, and it looks, and even with the looks of him being a better athlete, I still take Brees Hall because so far, I haven't seen him try to hurdle a guy. I haven't seen him tap dance in the background. I haven't seen him try to do some fancy spin move in an open field. It's just no. Like I follow my blockers. I hit that hole and I use my 4.39 speed that Talon just found out about, and I fucking go. Like no Gregory Highs, no Chris Breezy, no Michael Jackson, no hit me, ow, I'm so pretty I should kiss myself. Like no James Brown, like none of that shit. Just Forrest Gump all day long. Run, run, run. I'm getting excited. That's what I'm doing. Oh man. Listen, this is the only places we can be happy for right now as a Jets fan. We just have to kind of see where things are going to go. You have a decent run game. You have great wide receivers. You have an immaculate defense. Have it all come together and let Zach Wilson develop for you, because nobody they bring in is going to take you as far as Aaron Rodgers. And if everybody else is just going to make you mediocre, at least be mediocre with the guy that you're developing. Why give up another draft pick for mediocre? Why pay extra money for mediocre? You have mediocre in the room. Develop it. Because also this is on the Jets coaching staff to me too, right? Because far too often we get, what's going on, Ronnie? Missed you. Far too often, right? We get these guys that come up on one side of the ball, and it happens far too often as Jets and Giants fans. And what happens that even with this young quarterback, you can tell in 3 years he hasn't been developed, because the coaching staff has no clue what the fuck they're doing when it comes to developing quarterbacks. But you know what they have developed? Because you know what side of the ball they came from? They know how to develop a defense. The defense looks superb. Quarterback always looks pedestrian. Quarterback never learns how to read a defense properly. Quarterback never learns how to push the ball downfield. But every person on the defense learns how to read the quarterback's eyes. Everybody on the defense knows everybody's position. The quarterback barely knows how to bite his fingernail. Doesn't even know what the back of his hand looks like. Doesn't have an intimate relationship with the front of his hand. How can you develop that? Well, since we're talking about intimate relationships with the front of your hand, let's get into a little bit of fantasy football here. Just a little bit. Can I get my song?
The MyT Fantasy Football Tips. Not winning tips, just tips.
Just the tip? Just the tip! Just the tip!
Let's just say what I want involves much more than just the tips.
Just the tips. What I want is much more than just the tips.
If I only have about 3 fantasy football tips for you guys today, right? We'll see if Chill Will has any to add for week 1 and moving forward. But very first one I'm gonna say, and I've said it since last week, I'm gonna say it again this week. Even though last week I was kind of nervous, but I'm still saying it again this week. If you have a porous defense, right? And you're kind of playing defense roulette every single week because you don't have that defense quite yet, just go with the defense that's playing Arizona Cardinals. If you're looking to maintain the 10 points that your defense gives you in a week, play the defense that's playing the Arizona Cardinals. I hope by now you guys have gotten the Washington Commanders Cardinals. I mean defense, New York Jets defense, some of the higher defenses out there. If they're still out there in whatever league that you're in, I'm surprised. Go get them. You should have gotten them yesterday. That's when the waivers opened. I'll start putting your bids for them yesterday. Right? But go with the defense that's playing the Arizona Cardinals. You heard me talk about the New York Jets here, and a lot of you picked up Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback. I don't know if you picked up a solid backup quarterback. And I know a lot of times in fantasy, we like to do the next man up thing. It's called handcuffing positions, right? You like to handcuff a backup. In this case, you don't want Aaron Rodgers backup. You heard me talk about Zach Wilson and the fact that, he could look better, and the fact that he didn't take any snaps this week, so he was unfamiliar with the game plan. So basically, the reason why he looked the same way he looked like last year is because they basically gave him the game plan from last year. And he still beat the Buffalo Bills with the same sorry game plan from last year. Oh my God. And Wilson with that one-arm catch. Not Zach Wilson. We're talking about Garrett Wilson with that one-arm catch with the defender on him. Like to put the right arm on there, have the ball pop up, and then touch it again, right? Have it pop up again, sit down and bring it in and be like, hey, yo, 6. Stand up on you. And then that not even be the most athletic portion of that play is after that, Alan Lazard fully clearing him. Jumping over him like he was like he was the dwarf from Game of Thrones. So leave Zach Wilson alone. If you think about handcuffing the other Jets quarterback, don't do it. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Until I see better, I doubt that Zach Wilson is going to break 210 yards in the majority of his games. I doubt he's going to have more than 2. I doubt he's going to have 2 touchdowns or more in the majority of his games. I can't, even though I can see ways that he wins games, I don't see him producing. I don't see him being the producer. Like he's just along for the ride. He may have control of the steering wheel, but there's an actual real driver with the real steering wheel somewhere. Now, to actually follow that next man up situation, right? If you had any of Philadelphia's running backs in the right, right now you probably want to go ahead and handcuff or go ahead and get DeAndre Swift if he's still out there available. Actually, I didn't even check to see if Swift was available, right? And I probably should have checked that before I started with the podcast. But let's take a look. Like I said, I have faith in the people that I play with that DeAndre Swift is not going to be there because they have a lot of injuries that's going on in Philly. And when we talk about injuries, we're talking about a lot of injuries. So let's go ahead and transition, right, from fantasy football into a little
The MyT injury report. Him down.
Yep, DeAndre Swift is not available in my league. Okay, and I didn't expect him to. Now, part of the reason why we talk about DeAndre Swift being available in the league is because we have a lot of injuries going. What are you talking about? Huh? Oh, I did. I already verified it for the league. He's not available in the league. Oh, Team DESR. I don't know whose team that is. Team Desser. I don't know what team that is. Let's see. Let's see if it gives me their full name if I try to trade with them. Nah, it doesn't really tell me who has it. I gotta figure out who to tell Team Desser is, and then let's see matchups, league, people. Where's the teams at? Schedule, playoff brackets, scoreboard, finding standings. Uh, who the fuck is Team DESR? I don't know who the fuck that is. That's probably their love handle, and I don't know that love handle. But DeAndre Swift for you guys in other leagues, right? Check and see if DeAndre Swift is available. Like I said, because for the Philadelphia Eagles, they have their running back Kenneth Gainwell. He's out injured, right? You also have their cornerback James Bradbury. He's out injured. There's safe and let's back up a little bit. Kenneth Gainwell. He's out injured. And he's in concussion protocol. For James Bradbury, right, their cornerback, Reed Blankenship, their safety, and their defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox, they all got rib injuries. Like, all of them got rib injuries. Like, I found that... I've... Call me ignorant, if you want to. I don't remember ever seeing this many... I don't ever remember seeing a lot of rib injuries, period, in the league. And for one team to have three of them, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Now, maybe rib injuries used to just be called abdominal strains or abdominal injuries or maybe torso injury, whatever, Maybe they didn't get as far as like, hey, it's the actual ribs. But three rib injuries. And like I said, and their number one running back, right, Gainwell, right, as of right now, being concussion protocols means that we have a lot of time available for DeAndre Swift. Um, Actually, as we move from Thursday, as we move from the injury report, right, we kind of just transition directly into Thursday night football because the Philadelphia Eagles are involved in the Thursday night football game going on tomorrow, where we have the 0-1 the 0-1 Minnesota Vikings facing off against the 1-0 Philadelphia Eagles. And I should have known. See, I told you guys when that with the Minnesota Vikings, and I should have known. I should have known. I told you, you don't pick Minnesota Vikings if it's a primetime game or if it's a game that feels like prime time. And I should have realized that opening week or week one in the NFL is going to feel like a primetime game. Even though they were playing a team that they probably should have beaten, opening week feels like prime time. So now we have 0-1 Minnesota Vikings going up against Philadelphia Eagles. And even though this isn't prime time, actually, no, this is prime time. What am I saying? It's Thursday night football. It's prime time and it's against the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, I feel I think not only does Vegas agree, right? The odd makers. I think everybody here that doesn't live in Minnesota is probably going to feel that Philadelphia should take this victory, right? What's going on basketball? And welcome to the podcast. Right now they have Philadelphia right coming in as a 6.5 as a 6.5 point favorite. On the money line, I think it's negative two. On the money line, it's 274. and the over under they have right now is at 49 points. Now that's the one I was kind of curious about. So I'm like, hmm, does Minnesota put up these buckets? But then you look at when you look at cornerback out, safety out, defensive tackle out. While Philly has depth and they should just probably just end up winning this game, it doesn't make it feel like, hey, Minnesota's gonna just be an anemic team and not put up buckets. 49 feels kind of right, but it feels kind of high. Because then what we're talking about here, even if it is 49, well, let's say worst best case scenario, we're talking 31-18. Does that sound feasible? A complete blowout by, oh, they're saying 6.5. So let's bring this a little bit closer. Let's bring this a little bit closer, right? 28-21. Is that what we're talking about here? A difference of one touchdown? That can work. We can see Kirk Cousins putting up 3 touchdowns in this game, but without without Dalvin Cook in that running game, though, it makes me wonder if one of these touchdowns that you would generally see will come off the board because now we get a pick six by Kirk Cousins. So instead of this being like 21-28, we get something closer to 14-35. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out more than anything else, do I believe that Minnesota can break 20 points? That's really what it is. Can they convert all of these to touchdown? Can they break 20 points? Because if they don't break 20 points, that 6.5, you still looking at that 6.5, you still wondering like, yeah. I think Philly can cover it. I think Philly can cover that 6.5. And what's the payout for 6.5? Nah, there's no good payout. No good payout on any of these shits. I think it's 216. Right? No. It's not even good. It's not good. Who do we get that from? Who's over here trying to get a hold of us? Nobody. Just random bullshit. How do you Chill Will, you still with me? You still got Chill Will there? Ronnie, you still with me? How do you feel about this game tomorrow, Ronnie? Who you got, Minnesota or Philly? Who you got, Chill Will, Minnesota or Philly? Say that again? Basketball and beer. Everybody else that's out there. Let me know. Put them in the comments. Who you guys got out there? My bad. I did the transition. Listen, I transitioned fast. I went straight from fantasy to injury reports to Thursday night football. Mm. And which teams are we talking about here? Don't forget to give these people teams. What? Oh, I was like, yo, I was like, oh, you got somebody in the passenger seat? You whispering to somebody like, hey, yo, turn that ass over. That's the fattest ass I've ever seen. I'm like, you getting head in the whip tonight? You pulling your nori out, dog? You getting some head in the whip? Ooh, remember that song? Get head in the whip tonight, crushing it. Get head in the whip tonight. Joshua Kelly from. Okay. Okay. Mhm. And you know, and to add on to the end of that, this is why when we talk about the when I talk about the draft, sometimes why sometimes 4 to 5 skill position players is necessary because now that maybe that guy that you took that you took that flyer in and you made him your fifth wide receiver for some odd reason or your fifth running back for some reason. Now you're like, you know what? I don't see myself needing him. You switch that guy out easily. You see, these are the guys that you're able to easily get rid of to bring in a Johnson, to bring in a Swift, to bring in who else you mentioned out there? But these are how you bring in those guys easily because yeah, Moss, and you let them sit for a while, or maybe even you drafted them originally, right? And because you thought or you anticipated like, hey, this guy is injured or this guy is banged up, let's go ahead and pick up like maybe this third wide receiver because when the second wide receiver gets moved to the number one slot, as Chill Will was saying, defensive start testing him, and let's see how he deals with number one pressure, heavy number one pressure. And next thing you know, the guy that was anticipating getting 12 targets and maybe 8 catches, or 10 targets and maybe just 6 catches as the number one, he only catches 2 balls because they bottled him up. And now that number two guy's over there, he has 8 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. You're like, oh goddamn, fantasy. Remember, I said these aren't winning tips. These are just the tips, just tips, just the tip of the tips. And it's coming in. It's coming unanimous everywhere. It's coming in unanimously everywhere. I am not seeing one person rep Philly. Right? I mean, rep Minnesota right now. Don't you know? Right? No, nobody cares about Bobby's world. It's all about Philly, and them wanting to rock. And I ain't gonna lie, as dope as that song is, isn't that kind of gay? The rock, is he gay? Is that dude gay? I just want a rock guy. The little dude, the little 4 foot, little 5'1" guy that made that song from Philly. Is he gay? Can't hear me. Oh, you know what? I ain't, so I've had this thing. If I because we have access, I have an app on my phone, right? And with this app, if there's work available today, right, or tomorrow, you can literally walk in and work today, tomorrow, no questions asked. Fill out the information on the app and go. We're talking about like places like Coca-Cola and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like restaurant warehouses and shit like that. But like decent places that always have some kind of overabundance of work. When I get people that are like, hey, you got a dollar, man? I'm like, you have a phone? I'm like, they be like, yeah, I have a phone. Download this app. Man, I don't know if listen, I call Winola here. I have a code right here. You can scan this. You can start working tomorrow. Tomorrow you can start working. Man, I got nothing for you. Sorry. Like you wanted a dollar, I gave you an opportunity. So, speaking of, we going fast today. Yeah, let's go. Yo, did I tell you? You don't. I don't know if you heard, but to Ronnie to Chill Will over here, right? I gotta keep that going, right? to everybody else out there that hasn't heard, we will be switching up our days at Sharkies. We will no longer be there on Wednesdays. We're gonna start being there for Monday Night Football. We're gonna be there live every Monday night for Monday Night Football. Not quite sure if I'm gonna start it off this first Monday coming out. We're gonna start but I think we're probably gonna start on the 25th. I need time for some more equipment to come in. And I'm also debating if I want to go back to my old light system or if I just want to get 2 ring lights and just function off of 2 mini ring lights or two decent sized ring lights. I like the frames I like the frames. I guess the easiest way to say it without having a pausable moment in sports. Which, damn, I've been meaning to get you guys attached on this thread. We have a new segment coming up on the podcast. I'm still working on it. You just kind of heard me mention it. We're gonna start having some pausable moments in sports coming up. It's exactly how it sounds. And if you've watched sports enough or listened to sports enough, you know there's a lot of pausable moments in sports. We're gonna toss those up and have a little bit of fun with them. Toss, pause. Speaking of tossing up, right? And having fun with sports. I don't know if you guys know this right now, and I probably should. I don't know if you guys know this right now, but the W, yeah, I think you guys know where I'm going now. The WNBA playoffs has officially begun. They have officially begun. Right now, the Las Vegas Aces are beating the brakes off of the Chicago Sky. If you guys remember, the Chicago Sky won a championship. Won a championship. Maybe I think it was last year. Yeah, last year with Candace Parker on the squad. Right now, they're coming in as the last place team as the lowest seeded team to go in the playoffs, as they have the unfortunate opportunity of facing the Las Vegas Aces, who have been the best team in the WNBA all year long. Earlier today, right, or I should say earlier today, but actually, yeah, earlier today we had the Minnesota Lynx taking on the Connecticut Sun. I'm pulling up the final score. My bad. This all happened live. Yep. And Connecticut end up working them, completely working them, 90-60, 30-point blowout. As Connecticut end up setting the record in that game for most 3-pointers made in a playoff game. And you know what? Shut up! I remembered it. Listen. Oh, okay. Ooh, I thought that was a different number. Whew. So yeah, it's 90-60. Alicia Thompson, she's the second player in WNBA history with and I missed the stat line. But no, they were balling out there today. They were definitely balling out there today. Today we, like I said, today we have Connecticut and Minnesota, and also you see the number one team with Las Vegas and Chicago playing. Today's Wednesday. On Friday, we have the number 2 team in the league, the New York Liberty, right, and Breanna Stewart taking on former champions, the Washington Mystic. The Washington Mystic, you guys remember they won a championship right before COVID with Ella Della Don. If you guys remember, it took Ella Della Don a couple of years to break through and finally win her first WNBA championship. Every year before then, even when her team was a favorite, she kept on coming up short. Due to various injuries. That final year when she finally won her championship, bit down, grit her teeth, and worked through her injuries, and was actually finally able to take her team to a championship, to win a WNBA championship. So we have former champion Washington Mystic taking on Liberty. We got former champions in the Chicago Sky taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Why do we talk about those two? Those are the number 1 and the number 2 team, number 2 seeded teams, and these are the 2 teams that are slated to possibly meet in the WNBA finals. So far this year, the Las Vegas Aces has gotten the better of the New York Liberty, but the New York Liberty has shown that they can beat Las Vegas, and if you know what, they won't go down without a fight. That's going to be a very interesting 7-game series if we get the magical matchup that we want. Breanna Stewart, so far, I don't know if you guys know this, she has scored the record in the WNBA for most points scored in a season with 919 points. It's still weird to me because they got Jewel Lloyd at 939, and I'm not quite sure how that correlates. Asia Wilson finished right behind her with 912. And folks, these are the 3 individuals that broke the previous record of 885 points in a season. Asia 912, Stewie 919, and Jewel Lloyd with 939. Right, as we said, the New York Liberty will be taking on a Washington Mystics on Monday. And like I said, I don't know if you guys have been seeing what Breanna Stewart has been doing. We're talking about from 40-point games to triple doubles to double doubles. Right, she's gone to New York and just set record after and one. Because it's been a while since New York has had a franchise player in the modern era, right, of the WNBA. They have a lot of antiquated records. And Breanna Stewart came and set all of them. She broke all of them. Most points by a player in the season, broken. Most double-doubles in the season, broken. Triple-doubles in the season, broken. Then we have Sabrina Ionescu this season putting up the most 3-pointers in New York history, right? And you know how I know? Because she put up the 3rd most trips in WNBA history this season. This is the combination that they've been talking about, the Ionescu and Stewie. Now, this is the part that makes me nervous about our championship aspirations. Because, as I said, the Las Vegas Aces are for real. Right? When I say for real, the Las Vegas Aces are absolutely and 100% the truth. And not only are the number 1 seed, they also have a badass on their team, too, that plays the same position as Breanna Stewart, named Asia Wilson. And the majority of this year, I have heard that Asia Wilson is going to be MVP. Well, we find out today as we get ready to do the podcast that Breanna Stewart wins AP Player of the Year. And when we get ready to do a podcast on Monday, I'll tell you how often the AP Player of the Year versus the actual MVP, right? How often that person wins the WNBA championship. We'll have that number for you on Friday. Aaron Rodgers Okay, see, he put on a note today. Thank you to every person that reached out, called, text, DM, connected through friends, etc. It has meant a ton to me. I'll try to get back to all of you soon. I'm completely heartbroken and moving through the emotions, but deeply touched and humbled by the support and love. Please keep me in thoughts and prayers as begin the healing process. The night is darkness before the dawn, and I shall rise yet again. So there was one thing I did want to mention earlier that Aaron Rodgers will be coming back next year. He's gonna come back next year. One, because of personal pride, right? And let's hope that personal pride makes him a little bit smarter, right? Where he realizes that you don't need Peyton Manning in his first year in Denver. You need Peyton Manning in his second year in Denver. I need your wits more than I need your smarts more than I need your legs. I need your knowledge more than I need you to be MVP. More than I need you to be spectacular. Peyton Manning really learned. I mean, Peyton Manning was always a timing guy. But get your ball to your playmakers with the smart wits and the timing that you know that you can do and manipulate in this league, and let your playmakers play make. We know when you're able to recognize single coverage, right? Because Zach Wilson hasn't been able to recognize that yet to be able to take advantage of it and just throw the ball up for Sauce Gardner to go ahead and Zach for Garrett Wilson to go ahead and just catch. That's the reason why you heard me on Monday say I wish they had Rex Ryan. Because when Rex Ryan had Mark Sanchez and Santonio Holmes or Plexico Burress, no, that's the Giants. Brandon Marshall, at times he will just put the ball up in the air. He'll see one-on-one coverage, and you're like, "Hey, throw that shit up," because either these motherfuckers are gonna catch it, or they'll draw a PI, a pass interference call. Zach Wilson hasn't quite. I didn't see him take advantage of that in this last run. Even if your game plan is super vanilla, there are times when you have to be able to recognize coverages, recognize your mismatch. It's like a point guard in the NBA constantly having his center matched up on a point guard and not throwing him the ball in the paint. Or that center realizing that they got a point guard on me and not going to the paint. Your sports smarts matter, right? Your sports IQ matter, and I'm hoping to see an improvement in Zach Wilson's IQ over the next, because that's what really matters. We know he has all the arm talent, as most of these quarterbacks do, right? Most of them have all the arm talent in the world. Like how smart are you with the ball? How smart are you in your playmaking? How smart are you in your decision making? And apparently, Breonna Stewart has been excellent at it this whole entire season. Has and man, I hate to say it because it's been so unfortunate for New York sports this whole entire year, right? We go from basketball where you're stuck with guys like Ben Simmons in Brooklyn or Julius Randle right when the New York Knicks are trying to make an impressive playoff push. Right, Julius Randle gets injured at the end of the season and then again in the playoffs. You get Diaz for the Mets hurting himself during a celebration during the baseball World Classic games or whatever those are. Those are called, that was called. Like it's just been a weird old year. You get Aaron Rodgers hurting himself in the fourth game of the season. Now you have Breonna Stewart with the New York Liberty about to go all of the way, and I'm just hoping that she holds up. I hate to say it, but with the way that New York sports has been going, you just kind of look at it like, oh man, this may be too good to be true. We're gonna have Breonna Stewart fully healthy through all of the playoffs. I'm sorry. As you can see, as much as I try not to be, I'm still a little jaded. I'm still a little butthurt from what has happened with these New York Jets. So let's just take a quick look at the AFC East for a little bit, because if you're the Miami Dolphins, you're ecstatic, right? So let's bring this back. Let's bring this out for a little bit.
caught on camera in Florida.
Florida man decided to bring an alligator with him while making a beer run. Cocaine.
Right? If you're the Miami Dolphins in the AFC East, and I don't know why I decided to use this voicemail to talk about the Miami Dolphins, right? I hate them. I hate them so bad. Oh. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. But for the Miami Dolphins, stop it. Oh man, for the Miami Dolphins, that's a little bit better. You have to be ecstatic, right? Miami Dolphins had good odds even beforehand to win the Super Bowl. You have to imagine, right? And not just imagine, you know that you have to imagine that with Aaron Rodgers going down, that their chances have gone up. Because for the most part, even though it's been believed that the Miami Dolphins can actually win this division, they still be like, they were part of three teams because Buffalo was still there, and you had to factor in what the New York Jets had done. Well, the New York Jets just took down the Buffalo Bills, and while taking down the Buffalo Bills, also eliminated themselves from contention as well. Like this is a full definition of double-edged sword. So the Miami Dolphins beat the LA Chargers 36-34. Right? They improved to 1-0. The New England Patriots, they lose to Philly. So they drop down to 0-1. Buffalo loses to New York, so Buffalo drops down to 0-1, while the New York Jets move up to 1-0. But like I said, they just lost their quarterback. So how long do they are able to keep pace and stay on par with the best teams in the AFC East or the AFC in general? You don't see that lasting for very long. Even though before Breece Hall was injured last year, the New York Jets were 7-2. And those two losses had only come to New England and Bill Belichick because he makes neophyte quarterbacks and young quarterbacks look like they belong in the Pop Warner League. He makes all of them look stupid. That's the reason why that Philly game was so close. I don't care that Jalen Hurts was just in the Super Bowl last year. Nah, he's only been in this league for like 3 years. You understand? Bill Belichick still has 17 years worth of plays to throw at him that he has never seen. Another 17 years of concepts that he doesn't even have. Like, oh my God, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't even know that was possible. He still has that to go through. So when they play in New England and their bad quarterback situation, know that they have a good defense and a genius of a head coach when it comes to that defense. And a guy that takes pleasure in making young neophyte quarterbacks look stupid. So if you're New England, if you're Miami, you're kind of happy right now, right? Because you have a leg up on Buffalo, and you don't believe the Jets gonna be able to keep pace with you. And as long as you keep running, they'll eventually fall behind you. You just have more stamina right now for this race. Right now, like we know that your quarterback is a gang member. Like he'll throw up Crip signs in a minute. All those blood signs. They're Hawaiian gang member signs. as Tua got a tongue twister, threatens Ryan Clark, but I guarantee you he'll never say anything to Bart Scott. on simple criticism too. Like grow up, man up. And this is sports we talking about here. Like get out your personal life butt cheeks. This is sports. So Miami's gonna take on New England this week in week 2. And they're only a 2.5 point favorite. They're only a 2.5 point favorite in this game. think it was 141 on the money line, over under 46.5. But a two, that's just in a field goal. That means if they're playing in Miami, they probably think Miami wins. Barely squeaks out a victory. If Miami wins, the same thing happens. It's probably going to be very similar to what happened in Philly. It's going to be a hard-nosed game. It's going to be well fought, and it's going to be less than a touchdown for the win. Less than a touchdown for that win. I honestly, even though I hate to say it and I hate to do it and I hate to pick them, but I gotta pick somebody that I hate. I'm probably gonna end up picking New England to win this game. I think that's probably where I'm going to go. But that 2.5 points, right? Those 2.5 points. Yo, what are you guys thinking out there? I know this is early. Listen, we don't even have to think. Listen, you guys don't have to think about it. This is just me making sure I fully fulfill my obligations to New York and Florida by covering all of their information. I'm not gonna talk Jacksonville. Like, fuck that. I'm not even gonna talk New York Giants today. Like, we'll talk about them on Friday. Like, we'll reserve Jacksonville and the Giants for Friday talk. Right now, I just want to focus on what's going on in the AFC East. Buffalo takes on Las Vegas, where they are a 9.5 point favorite. And I was like, God damn. 9.5? 9.5? 9.5. For you to be a 9.5 point favorite, they must really think that other team is complete shit. I mean, you have no faith in the Las Vegas Raiders? No belief in Derek Carr? Derek Carr still over there? No belief in Devontae Adams? Like, none? But I can understand this. They're in Las Vegas. Las Vegas has kind of been teetering even since the days of Chucky. Right, they had a good rally for a couple for a while, but this kind of faded back into below mediocrity. Haven't quite dug themselves out. Probably have a couple of things that they need to go ahead and change around there. Quarterback is probably the first thing. Like I said, not a bad quarterback, but Derek Carr sounds a lot like Kirk Cousins to me. And we talked about this last year. We started talking about this last year. All of Kirk Cousins' cousins. Dak Prescott, right? Derek Carr. We went around the league. He has Jameis Winston. Kirk Cousins has a lot of cousins around the league. There's a lot of mediocre, average quarterbacks. There's a lot of good ones too. They're on the AFC, right? And they're too young in the NFC right now. But there's a bunch of them out there, and Derek Carr is happens to be one of them. Now, part of the reason I can understand this, not only does Las Vegas suck, but there's a certain this is trying to tie into your emotions, because it makes you start believing that Buffalo is going to be extra motivated, right? They're going to feel some type of way of losing that close game to the New York Jets in overtime. Josh Allen's going to come through firing all cylinders. The Las Vegas, they don't have the kind of defense that the New York Jets have. So you have to figure that that Josh Allen's not going to have another 3-interception game. So those passes are going to start getting through. Go ahead and pencil in Stephon Diggs for about 150 yards. Listen, I don't got to tell you guys in fantasy to go ahead and start Stephon Diggs. If I got to tell you that, just stop playing fantasy, right? You just need to deal with real life situations at all times. Work and pay bills. That's it. But I can understand that like that's what that kind of line plays to. Right, 9.5 point favorite. That's damn near a blowout. but that's taken into Vegas not being good. That if it wasn't for the New York Jets having one of the best defensive in the league, that Buffalo does more. That Josh Allen looks better. For Stephon Diggs, I already had 100 yards. Tack on another 50 because he's gonna get busy. So maybe that's something you look into, right? Look into the prop bet. Let's see what we have here for Buffalo, right? There's 244 prop bets available. Let's see if one of them is Stephon Diggs over 150 yards, and it has to be something like that, right? Let's see. Las Vegas Raiders overtime, halftime. Race to 10 points. Who will make it first? Race to 20 points. Race to 30. Race to 40. Race to 15, including overtime. What? Hey, yo. How we just get all over the place? Race to 35. I didn't see. Okay, wait. Am I in the wrong area? Do I need a player portion for this? Same game parlays, afterline halves, quarters, game props. Let's see what we have for game props. Yeah, 'cause I definitely wasn't 244. That was like a solid 12. Right. Okay, here we go. Highest scoring quarter, highest scoring half, total. Let's see what they have. Total touchdowns, including overtime. Let's see, the best odds are on over 2.5 at 680. Let's see, total field goals made. No, I don't care about that. Odds to win. Hey, yo. Like, why is it so hard to navigate? Why are you telling me that there's 244? Oh, you know what? Let's go to all. Let's go to all. And let's see if I can find a prop bet that involves just Stephon Diggs. And you know what? It could very simply just be that they don't want to put that in as a bet because it may hit too. Yeah, because Vegas and these books they're kind of smart, right? They're kind of half smart. They kind of know what they're doing, and you have to figure that they don't want to put something in there that they can lose a lot of money to. Like, oh my goodness. Like the chick that had her wig fall off on that one podcast. Oh my God. Right? That will forever rent space in my head. And she's over there talking. That shit is just sliding. And she's like, oh my God. My wig just fell off. But speaking of bad bets, right? And I didn't find it. So who knows? I don't know if you guys heard, but for that first game, right, for Monday night game last night, a couple of days ago, there was a bar in Wisconsin that said that there will be free drinks if the Jets lose. Free drinks if the Jets lose to Buffalo. Right? Was it free drinks if the Jets lose to Buffalo? Yeah. The Jets lose to Buffalo. Yeah. So then what ended up happening is that as soon as Aaron, and obviously Aaron Rodgers went down early, but as soon as Aaron Rodgers went down, obviously everybody in this bar assumed that this was going to be a blowout. They assumed that the New York Jets would not have a chance in the world to win this game. And you heard them talking to like, hey, you know what? Like, I don't hate Aaron Rodgers, but, I'm thinking about the finances here, And so people were really making financial decisions like, yo, like, I hate that this is happening to him. I really shouldn't be doing this. But Yo, my wallet says that, hey, this is a perfect opportunity for me to get some free drinks. What's going on, Mark? And so Aaron Rodgers goes down. They start running up their tab. Shots here, shots there. Hey, buy him a shot. Casamigos, top shelf this. Cleared out everything top shelf that night. They cleared out all things top shelf. I may be adding this last part, but it makes it sound juicier. Cleared out everything top shelf. And I think we all know the outcome of that game. That the New York Jets end up winning that game, and next thing you know, people that normally have $50 tabs, $100 tabs, maybe even those guys that got to go a little crazy sometimes. First, it's the first Monday night for maybe a $200 tab. We're talking about $1,000 tabs, $500 tabs. We're talking about real life decisions being made at the bar that night. We're talking about, hey yo, I don't even like using this credit card, but I guess I'm gonna have to use it today. We all know that credit card that we hold on to that we don't like to use. Yeah, they had to pull that one out for their tab. Talk about a come up. Like that bar must have made a 1,000% profit. I feel like a 3,000% profit that day. And I'm talking about on top of the inflation that they were already gonna have because it was a Monday night football game, and then having a bunch of people coming out to watch the Aaron Rodgers play. And did you guys know that was the the highest rated Monday night football game that ESPN has ever had? Yes, highest rated Monday night football game ESPN has ever had. Previous game before then was Green Bay, Minnesota, when Brett Favre was in Minnesota. And so let's say even the last one still involved Aaron Rodgers. It's just funny that the last one was in the beginning of his career, and this one is in the end of his career. Towards the end of his career. Let's not call it the end yet. Even though for bigger players, right, offensive linemen, all right, defensive linemen, that has had this injury later on in their career, this was a career ender for them. But for them, let's say you talk about 300 pounds on the body. You're talking about them trying to help another guy move space, or fight another guy to move space. This is a body half that weight that is fluttering back and trying to make sure he doesn't get hit again. The other guys, they couldn't avoid the hit. So, where was I at? Jets, Giants, odds, numbers, highest rated game. Yeah, so this bar, right? These people at this bar. But you know what though? This is just goes to show you. Sometimes, just don't go over your means. Like, let's stay within your means. Like, why did you have to go excess? Like, no, like, but I get it though. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have traded in my regular Long Island iced tea to a fully top shelf Long Island iced tea. So instead of my Long Island iced tea costing me $12, it would have cost me $62 or $60. Right? Then I would have smashed 2-3 of them. Next thing you know, ordered some food. You're talking about a $250 bill versus something that should have been $50, $80. I don't like using this credit card. And that's not what you're telling the waitress, whatever. That's what you're saying in your head as you look for, like, yo, how the fuck am I gonna pay for this shit? God damn. Nigga don't fuck them so. Like, I don't like using this. Here you go, mama. Yeah, this one should work. Right? Like, you hit them with yeah, this one should work. They had to pull out the one that you don't even want to use. That one, when the balance goes down, if you share a household with somebody, they gonna check you like, hey, any reason why you spent $777 at the pub yesterday? Like, yeah, see what happened was, like, I started buying niggas drinks thinking they were free. It's funny though. Like, hey, you get a drink, hey, put it on my tab. Man, that's probably what I would have. I would have found somebody that wants to put that. Then I'm like, nah, remember I got you that drink. Like, nah, we gonna put that on your. But nah, you still nah. Yeah, I need you. I'm gonna need you to have to pay for. Like, nope. DoorDash. He ain't about to catch me on that one. So we left off from Buffalo, Las Vegas, as we was just rounding up the AFC East, and we talked about how that 9.5 point favorite that they have for Buffalo of Las Vegas has to be one of the most disrespectful lines out there when you're talking about a professional football team. Well, I said that in full consciousness that the Dallas Cowboys are also a 9.5 point favorite over the New York Jets. Like, yo. Couple of things here. This is playing on now again the recency bias. We just saw the Dallas Cowboys demolish a New York team. A New York team that they thought had a better line than the New York Jets. So when that line got dismantled, you really look like, hey, what's going to happen with the Jets and this neophyte quarterback? May sound like, oh shit. Right? So they're 9.5 point favorite, right? The money line is 365 over under 39.5. So damn near a 40 burger. So that's taking into account that both teams are gonna have good defense. It's just gonna be a complete blowout. They're talking about 30-10. That's what they're talking about here. 30-10. 28-10. 31-10. 31-9. That's what they're talking about here. Dirty motherfuckers, you. Can I see it? Yeah, but I'm not seeing this. I'm still going to ride with the New York Jets. Listen, that's a hard pick. We'll talk about that on Friday, but that's definitely a hard pick. There's no reason I should believe that New York Jets are going to be able to beat the Dallas Cowboys. That's a hard pick. That's a faith pick. That's a I go to church every Sunday. I don't go to church every Sunday, but that's a I go to church every Sunday and I walk by faith and not by sight kind of pick. So you see how things are matching up, right? And I ran through the AFC East just so we can bask in the joy that the Miami Dolphins should be having, right? They play the New England Patriots. They're a favorite there. Buffalo plays Las Vegas. Buffalo already took a loss last week, right? So as long as you win, you still have a leg up on them. And then the New York Jets play the Dallas Cowboys, who just ran through the New York Giants, and they don't have their quarterback, and they got a scared quarterback or a quarterback they don't have faith in. So yeah, so we just did this so we could just bask and enjoy and revel in the joy that the Miami Dolphins should be going through, because even after week 2, they shouldn't be tied with anybody anymore. They will be the sole owners of the number 1 spot in the AFC East, and they should probably be there for a while. You should imagine this early. That's why this early loss for Buffalo is devastating, because then if everybody keeps keeping up on par with it, how they're supposed to play, when did you catch up? These early victories matter. After this week, the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills are tied. The Jets don't have an easy schedule for the first 6 weeks of the playoffs. I think after this, they play Denver. Or maybe New England, one of the 2 teams. So things don't get easier for this first 6 weeks. This is going to be the test. And this was always the test. I guess that's the gift and the curse, right? That's the beauty of it. These first 6 weeks was always going to be the test period. Whether you were Aaron Rodgers, whether you're Zach Wilson, whether you're I don't even know who the quarterback is after him, right? Or whether you're who's the wide receiver that's the quarterback after him, right? It doesn't matter. Even with Aaron Rodgers, Jets fans were talking about, hey, if we go 3-3, that'll be great going into the bye. That's what they were talking about, 3-3 with Aaron Rodgers. I think we play Kansas City after that. I think it's Kansas. I think it's Kansas. I think in that first 6 games, right? Because we've done Buffalo, right? We have Dallas in there. I think it's Kansas City, Denver, New England, and I can't remember that 16. Maybe Las Vegas, but I doubt. I don't think it's them. You got one unexpected victory out the way. You can possibly take Denver, and then we just got to see what else happens. I think it's Philly in the first 6 games. Like I said, it's brutal. So now instead of 3-3, if you were willing to accept 3-3 with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, is 2-4 not okay? With Zach Wilson, that is, and it's not okay in any situation. But is that not a reasonable expectation for Zach Wilson? If you were willing to accept 3-3 from Aaron Rodgers, it was a 1 game difference that much devastating that you have to feel the need to try to want to bring in Joe Flacco or Ryan or Matt Ryan or Gardner Minshew? I wonder. Like I said, with all of these changes, the Miami Dolphins now have still the second best odds to win the Super Bowl at a plus 1,500, still holding that number one spot, right? And I think that's the 7th best odds in the league. So still with the number one spot in our division. Yeah. In our division, in the Buffalo Bills at a plus 970. The New York Jets have fallen to 4,800, while the New England Patriots still round up the rear at 6,800. I'm taking Miami. I'll take Miami Dolphins to win that. I think that's to win the Super Bowl, not to win the division. Actually, let's see. Can we get those division numbers up real quick? You know what? Fuck it. We'll talk about that on Friday. And then you guys have an opportunity to look it up between now and then, and we'll have a chance to gab about it. But you know what? We're about 2 hours into the show. I don't think I need to stretch this out for another hour. But we do got a couple of things that I want to talk about, right? As we just wrap things up. Have you seen these new championship belts, right? That the NFL has, right? Or in partnership with WWE and Fanatics, they've now had all of these new championship belts that they've made. I ain't gonna lie, some of these belts look dope as hell. Like, some of these belts really do look dope as hell. But I love what WWE is doing, because they've been doing this for a while, and what they do is that they make sure that they find. See, how do you? It's the thing that how do you continue to make yourself relevant when where half the sports world doesn't consider you a real sport, and that's the only reason why they won't watch you, but everybody loves you. What do? Every time every time a team wins a championship, they send them a belt. Right? Somebody wins MVP, they send them a belt. Now, the cool thing about it now is that there are now fully customized belts for your team. So now you can get an all jetted out championship belt, a Dolphins championship belt, Giants championship belt, a 49ers championship belt, right? You can go ahead and get yourself one. Like a fully themed belt. You saw them recently when Coco Gauff won the US Open, they sent her a championship belt. Like I think they need to start doing a little bit, like get a little bit better. Like I don't know. I see. And what happens that I have to see the side plates on that belt that they give her, but switch it up, right? Like make sure you put a couple of tennis rackets, put some Cocoa Puffs on there. She is the most successful golf that we know in sports. That's just me taking a cheap shot. That's just me taking a cheap shot. Oh, also, Nas has a new album coming out. If I'm not mistaken, within the next week or two, there should be a new Nas album dropping. So for all my Nas fans out there, for all my hip hop heads, yep, there goes something for you guys to go ahead and go ahead and wait for and keep an ear out for. Yankees. I mean, even though they're out the playoffs, they were supposed to be playing today. Did they start playing yet? Nope. That game got postponed. They were supposed to be playing Boston. That game got postponed to weather. New York Mets, they end up beating the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-1. I saw something weird about what the Houston Cheaters did today, so we won't talk about it. And while we leave here, did you see that there was leaked information about racist conversations going between Jerry Jones and the Buffalo Bills owner? There's karma everywhere. And see, this is what I said. That when the allegations was made about Woody Johnson, that something or somebody somewhere would have came out, said something, leaked something. The fact that there hasn't even been a whisper or another word of it ever since the first time that it was made lets me know that was Fugazi and they were just targeting him for being boys with Trump. This Jerry Jones one and this Buffalo Bills owner, I fully agree. I fully believe. Like, you understand? But if I'm not mistaken, these are some of the guys that talking about running their asylum. One of the comments that they talk about them having is that if black people want so many changes in the goddamn sport, why don't they open up their own damn league? Talking about the players and stuff. Yeah, so why don't they open up their own Negro league? So now Jerry Jones has denounced that, and for this one, he made sure he came out with a very PR statement of how he's part of inclusion and all this other stuff. But when that photo came out of him being in the crowd of harassing that little black girl who was just trying to go to school back in those days, he didn't put out no statement about inclusion and wanting to be one and everything about then. No, what he said is that he was curious. What the fuck were you so curious about? What was making somebody going to school so curious to you? Somebody trying to get an education so curious to you? Was it the fact that it was one of these little black people that's finally trying to get an education? You wanted to see why this little nigger girl wanted to go to your school, one of your schools. Yeah, I fully believe that this was Jerry Jones' thought process at one point in time. That's what he was curious about. This statement that he dropped is a PR statement. This is why we don't talk Dallas Cowboys on this podcast at all whatsoever. Fuck them. And that's how we're going to end this podcast. One hand wash the oven, both wash the face. We are out of here. Play my outro so I can stop rambling. It's been too long.